Okay. All right, we still waiting for some equipment to get here, but we gonna try to make do with what we got at the moment. Okay. Oh shit! What was that? Damn. Oh, the hot spot. See, the element. All right. And I guess I can hold the phone. I can hold the phone for a little bit. How that sound? Anybody watching it? How does the audio sound on here? I need to like. Oh. Hello. If you watching it, okay. Yeah, if you watching it from home or from wherever, and you got how does the audio sound? Tell me how the audio sound. I'm gonna turn it up some. Tell me how that sound. How's that audio sound? Can y'all hear that good? Is that coming in clear? That coming in clear? Okay, while we got some people that's checking. I got my P's. All right, we got some folks that's checking to see how the audio sounding on that. While they do that, I'm gonna get ready to start speaking the Rockford Rundown, what we're calling the Rockford Rundown, which is going to be an explanation of an events that happened and then the demands from the victims of those events. Do me a favor, if you're watching this too, share this. Please share this. Hold on, I'm trying to get the tablet on. Again, we're going to keep this running. We're going to keep this running 24/7. This is the book that we're starting off reading. It's the first book, The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. We outside Say Their Name Square near City Hall in Rockford, Illinois. This is an ongoing teaching. We're going to have a different book every day. Today, the book is going to be The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. We encouraging people, man, the P's. We are encouraging folks that are watching at home to buy this book. I didn't say purchase. We encouraging folks at home to buy this book and to read along. We're not expecting anybody to read it in a full day like as we're planning on doing, but we just hope that these can be like sowing seeds that can grow into trees later on. Each one of these days, we want to just sow seeds all these days here. So again, we're gonna have some different equipment as this progresses. Right now, we doing it with a microphone and a speaker. So if you're watching it, let me know how the audio sound. Let me know how the visual sound. And eventually, we'll be streaming these on multiple platforms. Right now, we just starting off on Facebook. Okay. I'm gonna take this gum out when I start speaking too. I probably shouldn't do this while I'm chewing gum. Again, if you're watching this, please, if you're watching this, share the video for me. Yeah. All right, that was unprofessional. Okay, this is the Rockford Rundown. On May 30th, 2020, a protest was organized by community activists in Rockford, Illinois, to march in solidarity with the city of Minneapolis after the murder of George Floyd by police officer Derek Chauvin, and to bring awareness to the countless victims of police terrorism in the city of Rockford. During the protest, speeches were given by members of the community, and a march was held that ended at Rockford Police District 1. At District 1, after speeches by a handful of people at the protest began throwing rocks and other objects at the District 1 building. But after discourse between community members, items ceased being thrown and no one was injured. The officers of District 1 stayed inside of the building through the entirety of this happening. However, shortly after this, the district commander, Ken Wisenhan, led officers out of the building in riot gear. Before any order of dispersal was given, officers of the Rockford Police Department began assaulting people in attendance of the protest using cruel and unusual forms of brutality and violence. Pepper spray bullets, stumping, kicking, punching, tasing, slamming, and knees on necks were all used in efforts to terrorize children, teenagers, young adults, and the elderly. 10 people were falsely arrested, and over 100 citizens were physically and psychologically damaged by the actions of the local law enforcement. These are the demands of the victims of the police terrorist attack of May 30th in Rockford, Illinois. Demand number 1. We demand all charges in connection to the protest on May 30th. Excuse me. 1 second. Tablet went off. Okay. We demand all charges in connection to the protest on May 30th be dropped immediately without contingency on any agreement or deal being signed by the wrongfully accused parties. Demand number 2. We demand the city of Rockford procures an entity outside of the Rockford Police Department to investigate the actions taken by officers on May 30th due to the conflict of interest. Demand number 3. We demand the inherent biased findings of the Rockford Police Department investigation and the findings of the investigation done by an outside source be released in full without redaction to the public. Demand number 4. We demand to be informed of the badge number and name of each officer at District 1 on May 30th, informed of each officer who made an arrest, and to be informed of each officer who discharged their taser. Demand number 5. We demand all elected officials in the city of Rockford condemn the actions taken by the Rockford Police Department on May 30th and also condemn the lack of results the investigation into the conduct of the Rockford Police Department on May 30th has yielded. Demand number 6. We demand the city of Rockford make accommodations and pay in full for the services of counselors, therapists, or psychiatrists, or anything else needed to help the mental health of those traumatized by the actions of their officers. The city should make accommodations for up to 12 months to pay for these services for each individual. Demand number 7. We demand that all officers that participated in the violation of the human rights of the protesters on May 30th be terminated immediately and their crimes against humanity be punished to the fullest extent of the law. During the summer of 2020, weekly protests were hosted at City Market to raise awareness to the victims of the police brutality attack of May 30th in the city of Rockford, Illinois. For the first 5 weeks, these protests occurred with demonstrators assuming the role of pedestrians, walking continuously on a crosswalk on East State Street and Water Street horizontal to City Market. Megaphones were used to project the voices of activists speaking about May 30th, and the siren functions of those megaphones were used to alert traffic of the ongoing demonstration. It was a safety precaution. All of these things occurred with no arrest and no laws being broken. The Rockford Police Department even went as far as to set up roadblocks using police vehicles on multiple weeks. On July 31st, in concert with the Winnebago County Sheriff's Department, the Rockford Police Department assaulted multiple demonstrators on the crosswalk of East State Street and Water Street in the process of arresting 14 people. For the next 8 weeks, the Winnebago County Sheriff's Department and the Rockford Police Department, along with the city of Rockford and the county of Winnebago, conspired to use terroristic tactics to intimidate citizens who participated in the protest at City Market. People were assaulted in a myriad of ways, including being pepper sprayed and slammed to the ground, in the process of 33 people in total being falsely arrested and jailed by law enforcement. These are the demands from the victims of City Market 2020. We demand all charges in connection to the City Market protest be dropped immediately without contingency on any deal or agreement by the wrongfully accused parties. Demand number 2. We demand an investigation into the violation of human rights in connection with the City Market protest by the Rockford Police Department, Winnebago County Sheriff's Office, Rockford Park District, Metro Enforcement Agency, and any other agencies involved. Demand number 3. We demand all elected officials in the city of Rockford and in Winnebago County make a public statement about the violation of human rights of protesters by the Rockford Police Department, Winnebago County Sheriff's Department, Rockford Park District, and Metro Enforcement Agency in connection to the City Market protest. Demand number 4. We demand the city of Rockford and Winnebago County make accommodations and pay in full for the services of counselors, therapists, or psychiatrists, or anything else needed to help the mental health of those traumatized by the actions of their officers in connection to the City Market protest. The city should make accommodations for up to 12 months to pay for these services for each individual. Demand number 5, we demand that the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office return all personal property, including but not limited to cell phones, speakers, and 20 megaphones to the people who were arrested at the City Market protest. Demand number 7, we demand that Sergeant Tom Brimho's son, Adam Pickett, be charged for assault and unlawful restraint for the actions he took on a protester July 31st at the City Market protest. Demand number 8, we demand that Kathy McDermott be terminated from her position at Rockford City Market and be replaced with someone who puts the community's interest above economic gain. Demand number 9, we demand Peter Provenzano and Rockford River Development Partnership give ownership, all rights, and control of Rockford City Market to the city of Rockford so that it can be handled in a more equitable and democratic manner. Demand number 10, we demand that all officers that participated in the violation of human rights of the protesters in connection to the City Market protest be terminated immediately and their crimes against humanity punished to the fullest extent of the law. That was the City Market rundown and the City Market demands. This is the City Hall rundown and the City Hall demands. On October 3rd, 2020, a protest began in the form of an occupation outside of Rockford City Hall after Tyrus Jones, an unarmed black man, was shot in the back by the Rockford Police Department Officer Dominic McNeese on October 2nd, 2020 in Rockford, Illinois. The demands of the protesters organizing the demonstration were as reads. 1, a press conference from Rockford Mayor Tom McNamara. Demand number 2, in said press conference, Mayor Tom McNamara spoke on the shooting of Tyrus Jones and the ongoing police terrorism that took place in the spring and summer in Rockford, Illinois. Demand number 3, Tom McNamara answered questions from the media at said press conference. The mayor instead released a Facebook post 2 days after the shooting in which he never even stated the name of the victim he was referring to in which he never even referred to the name of the victim. On October 5th, 2 of the protesters participating in the occupation were assaulted at the hands of the Rockford Police Department in the process of 6 people ultimately being arrested. Since the demands the protesters put forward were never met in full, the occupation continued through this attack, and for the next 6 months, protesters continually occupied outside of City Hall in Rockford, Illinois. While doing so, police officers have harassed, followed, and threatened citizens. They have torn down structures being used to house people in deadly cold weather. They have stolen blankets, hand warmers, food, and clothes from protesters in the middle of the night. The city officials of Rockford who work inside of City Hall have engaged in racist microaggressions throughout the entirety of the occupation, primarily executed in the form of white people weaponizing the police on people of color. These are the demands from the City Hall, from Occupy City Hall. Demand number 1. We demand all charges in connection to the occupation at City Hall be dropped immediately without contingency on any deal or agreement by the wrongfully accused parties. Demand number 2. We demand all ordinance violations, fines, and parking tickets issued by the City of Rockford in connection with the occupation at City Hall be dropped immediately without contingency on any deal or agreement by the wrongfully accused parties. Demand number 3. We demand the City of Rockford, the Winnebago County State's Attorney's Office, and the Rockford Police Department release all video footage of arrests made in connection with the occupation at City Hall. Demand number 4. We demand each memorial and say their name square be up permanently without desecration from the City of Rockford or the Rockford Park District. Demand number 5. We demand the resignation of Assistant Deputy Chief Carla Redd and Rockford Police Department Officer Brandon Mather for their assaults during arrest on individuals at Occupy City Hall. Demand number 6. We demand Tom McNamara hold a press conference open to the public addressing past cases of shootings by the police and the ongoing police terrorism in Rockford, Illinois. Demand number 7. We demand the City of Rockford make accommodations and pay in full for the services of counselors, therapist, or psychiatrist, or anything else needed to help the mental health of those traumatized by the actions of their officers and employees in the connection to the occupation at City Hall. The city should make accommodations for up to 12 months to pay for these services for each individual. Demand number 8. We demand that the city of Rockford and the Rockford Police Department return all property taken from the occupation, including but not limited to canopies, a cell phone, blankets, chairs, and megaphones to the occupation at City Hall. Demand number 9. We demand Kyle Saunders be terminated from his position immediately and be replaced with an individual that puts the community's needs over the government's interest. Demand number 10. We demand all bans from City Hall property be lifted immediately without contingency on any deal or agreement by those involved in the occupation at City Hall. Okay, that is the Rockford Rundown. That is a summarization of the events of May 30th, along with the demands from the victims of May 30th, a summarization of the events of City Market 2020, along with the demands of the victims from City Market 2020, and then that is a summarization of Occupy City Hall, along with the demands of the victims of Occupy City Hall. And so we're gonna do that. We're going to do that rundown. We're going to call that the Rockford Rundown. We're going to do that twice a day. We're going to strive to do that at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. To give a reminder to people who may be tuning in for the first time or at different times, the reasons that we're out here and what it is that led to this chain of events. Now, we still waiting for a few pieces of equipment to get here. I want to make sure that that we get this book read, and we got the audio captured as best as possible, and we get the video captured as best as possible. So we gonna end this live stream for right now, and we gonna start back another one up. Hopefully when we start that other one up, we'll be reading. All right, share this video.